Today we're going to look at some photos of a messy house in Silver Spring, Maryland. This house took 10 days of work with my 5 helpers to clear out. My sister helped me with this one. She only worked with me on 2 jobs, I believe, over 15 years. My invoice was $6,556. This was one of the biggest jobs of 2009, if not the biggest. It was a 4-bedroom house and 1,800 square feet. We made 3 trips to charity and found $140 in postage stamps in the house. I took the stamps home and am probably still trying to use up those stamps when I pay bills by mail. I deducted the $140 from my invoice. We also returned $700 in cash that we found in the house to the attorney. I was working for an attorney whom I'd never worked for before. I had worked with his law partner many times over the years, and I knew he liked my work. A furniture buyer bought a chest of drawers, a headboard, and a dining room set for $250. Someone else bought 3 nightstands for $57. And one of my helpers bought a bookcase and the dresser with 2 mirrors that you'll see in the photos in a few seconds. They wrote out checks to the estate bank account. I took before and after photos of some of the furniture. I usually take photos the first time I walk into the house. In this house, there was so much stuff on the furniture and around it. Once we cleared up the floor and tops of furniture in the room, I took photos again so the auction company could see what was there more easily. I always emailed them photos before they came out to pick it up for auction. I hope that gave them an idea of how big a truck or trailer they would need. I can see in my notes that 2 truckloads of trash went out the 9th day we worked there, and the auction pickup crew came out 2 days to take away everything that they wanted to sell. A Cadillac and a Mercedes were put on a flatbed tow truck and taken out to the Howard County Fairgrounds to be sold at auction. This house had 2 sofas and a love seat covered in plastic. The kitchen table was a sleek model that I was familiar with, as my grandmother had owned the same set since I was a little girl. The next house was a mess in Fairfax, Virginia. The attorney was looking for a will. We found over $1,100 in cash in this house. I don't know if we ever found the will. A Mazda was sitting in front of the townhouse, but it had not been started in more than a year. My helper worked with me for 2 days in the house, and her husband worked 1 day with us. They looked over the Mazda and talked to the attorney, who was the executor of the estate, and bought the car for their son. They paid the Kelly Blue Book price. I vaguely remember there was either a problem getting the title signed over to them or the car never ran well. They hadn't been able to test drive it before they bought it because the car wouldn't start. You'll see in the 6 photos that this house had several personal computers in their basement office. This is where the biggest mess was located. There will be more photos posted to the Facebook page, 800 Houses, 800 Jobs, from this house and the others. Now I think we need a break from messy houses. This apartment condo in Northwest DC took 6 days to clear out. It was a 2-bedroom. A social worker that I had met many years earlier at a networking group in Silver Spring recommended me to a paralegal in Baltimore. She was in charge of the estate. I met the paralegal in April at the condo, but the job didn't start until early July. The owner had records from 7 different banks and credit unions. We kept the last 7 years of financial records for the paralegal, and my helper and I gathered 7 boxes of older financial records that needed to be shredded. There was a 1995 Buick Century in the parking garage. The odometer said it had 49,000 miles on it, and the tags were current. For a 14-year-old car, that's fantastic. There were a few items from the condo that were put into storage, as the woman who lived in the condo had gone to a senior assisted living apartment. We sent 664 items to charity. On the 4th day, College Hunks Hauling Junk came to take away trash. We had finished sorting through everything and started packing up items for auction. I also took vintage clothing out to my car and took it to Polly Sue's vintage shop in Tacoma, Maryland. The next day, the auction company sent a crew of 5 men to carry out the boxes and furniture and load their truck. On the final day of work, my helper met College Hunks Hauling Junk for one last load of trash, and we were done. That's it for today. Enjoy the 9 photos here from the condo, but also take a look at the additional photos on the Facebook page, 800 Houses, 800 Jobs. If you like learning about estate cleanouts or looking at the photos, please subscribe below. Thanks for tuning in.